Flexibility and adaptability. In today's changing world, everything transforms so fast that we don't even notice it. What exists today may be gone or different tomorrow. Being able to adapt to different situations and the challenges life presents to us is the key to success and happiness. Therefore, in order to adapt, we need to be flexible and adaptable. Adaptability and flexibility are two key themes in this learning activity. Introductory material. Dear learner, this material will help you study the topics related to Learning Activity 2. You will learn about 1. Mixed conditionals, 2. Flexibility and adaptability, 3. Vocabulary about flexibility and adaptability, 4. Idioms to talk about flexibility and adaptability. Let's begin. 1. Mixed conditionals. A. Conditionals are used to talk about possible or imaginary situations. They can refer to aspects in the present, past, or future. They are formed by two parts, the condition and the result. In English, we have different types of conditionals depending on what we want to express. Sometimes we can combine different conditionals, resulting in a mixed conditional. Brad and Richard are talking about a new software in the office. Read the conversation. Condition. If we didn't have that software for inventories, result. We would have spent a whole week doing the last inventory. As you can see, in this example, the condition refers to a hypothetical present situation, while the result is based in a past situation. Other examples of mixed conditionals from the conversation. If I had studied something related to computers, I wouldn't be so lost now. If I had attended that training last week, I wouldn't have so many questions. Attention. In some mixed conditionals, the structure in the condition is in the past, but the condition refers to a present situation, hypothetical. In the example below, the structure in the condition is in the past, but it refers to a present situation. If I weren't poor, I would have studied at university. True condition. I am poor currently. Hypothetical. If I weren't poor. Result. Although wasn't is not correct, it is used commonly in speech to indicate the hypothetical condition in the present. Correct. If I weren't poor, I would have studied at university. Possible in spoken English, If I wasn't poor, I would have studied at university. B. Hypothetical past condition, present result. This mixed conditional expresses a result in present due to a hypothetical condition in the past. We use it to talk about the opposite of what really happens in the present. Using the third conditional, had, plus past participle, we express the opposite of the true past condition. That is, if something in the past had been different, there would be a result in the present. The result in the present is expressed using modal plus base form. Examples. If Lewis hadn't gone to the casino, he would have money right now. True condition in the past. Yesterday, Lewis went to the casino and spent all his money. If she had gone to the doctor, she would feel better now. True condition in the past. She did not go to the doctor when she felt sick last week. If I had bought that car, I wouldn't have to ride buses. True condition in the past. He didn't buy the car.
Condition. If plus past perfect. Result. Would or could or might plus base form. Structure. Difference between would, could, and might. When you use would in this type of mixed conditional, it means that would be your only choice in the situation. There is no other option you would pick. When you use could in this type of mixed conditional, it means there is a probability for you to take this option in the situation. When you use might in this type of mixed conditional, it means there is less probability for you to take this option in the situation. Would indicates certainty. Might indicates low probability. Could indicates probability. Consider the following example. If I had traveled to Miami, I would be on the beach now. I would definitely be on the beach now. If I had traveled to Miami, I could be on the beach now. I would probably be on the beach. If I had traveled to Miami, I might be on the beach now. There is a lower chance I would be on the beach. Other examples. We could still be living in Paris if my dad had adapted to his new job. True condition. His dad did not adapt to his new job. If Anna had come, she would be watching the movie with us. True condition. Anna did not come. If her husband hadn't died, they might still be together. True condition. Her husband died. She could sing in a band if she had taken guitar lessons. True condition. She did not take guitar lessons. C. Hypothetical present condition, past result. This mixed conditional has a present condition and a past result. They refer to an unreal present situation and its probable but unreal past result. We use it to talk about the opposite of what really happened in the past. Using the second conditional, past simple, we express the opposite of the true present condition. That is, if something in the present was different, there would have been a hypothetical result in the past. The result in past is expressed using modal plus past simple. Examples.
I would have bought that penthouse if I had money. True condition in the present. He does not have money to buy a penthouse. If Rachel were taller, she would have been accepted into the army. True condition in the present. She is not tall enough to be accepted into the army. We wouldn't have travelled by car if I didn't feel afraid of flying. True condition in the present. She feels afraid of flying. Structure. Condition, if plus past simple. Result, would, could, might have, plus past participle. Other examples. We would have won the match if we had a better football team. If Lewis didn't owe money to the bank, he wouldn't have taken a second job. We wouldn't have arrived late to the classroom if the bell was louder. If I had more free time, I would have taken swimming lessons last summer. If Charles wasn't so clever, he would have failed the test. 2. Flexibility and adaptability. We live in a world of constant change, full of challenges and new opportunities. Just about anything can change in the glimpse of an eye. Being prepared for such conditions can make the difference between success and failure. With rapid changes in technology, education, housing and work environments, our societies demand flexible minds, with the ability to adapt and work through challenging issues. Adaptability. The ability to deal with new conditions successfully. Flexibility. Capacity to take different roles in life. These two concepts are quite similar. If you're flexible, you can adapt to new situations. In today's life, we are required to go through complex tasks. Therefore, developing skills to be flexible and adapt to different situations is quite important to become successful. Definitions. Flexibility. Being able to easily adapt to new situations, to cope with new conditions in an appropriate way. Adaptable. To fit into new conditions properly that can adapt or be adapted in a given situation. Andres works in a fast food restaurant. Read about his schedule and duties. Andres is 23. He works in a big fast food restaurant. He likes working there as there are opportunities for him to grow and learn a lot. However, Andres' job is challenging. His schedule is not fixed, so it changes every week. Sometimes he works in the afternoons, sometimes at night, etc. Additionally, his job involves dealing with different tasks as roles are switched every day in the restaurant. Some days he is a waiter, some days he is a cook. Also, he can be a cashier, etc. Andres feels he is learning a lot with this experience. I like the fact that I don't know exactly what I will have to deal with next week, or whether I'll have to work in the morning, afternoon, or night. It makes it interesting. Although it is a challenging job, I really enjoy it. According to his boss, Andres is one of the best employees in the restaurant. Soon he will start training to become a supervisor. As you can see, Andres is a flexible person, able to adapt to new situations and changes. That's why he is a successful worker in the restaurant.
Could you travel around the country on your own working from your laptop?
Could you take a new job you know nothing about?
Would you study in a country where they speak a language you barely know?
Would you move to a place with extreme weather conditions?
How would you react to these situations? Would you take a chance? Or would you rather stay in the comfort zone of the things you already know? When situations like these arrive, we need to be ready to deal with them. Taking them as an opportunity to train yourself in something new or something challenging can lead to positive outcomes and new learning experiences. People who are not flexible or don't have the ability to adapt to new conditions usually get paralyzed when something changes. They find it difficult to understand why they have to change and instead would like the world to adapt to them. On the other hand, people who take changes in a positive way are usually able to adapt to new conditions and succeed in their different roles in society. Flexibility and adaptability are very important in everyday life, as they can make our lives better in different aspects and can make us happier. As Wayne Dyer puts it, what we think determines what happens to us. So if we want to change our lives, we need to stretch our minds. Wayne Dyer. Flexibility is in our minds. The more open-minded we are, the easier we can adapt to new situations in life. What can I do to be more flexible? Here are some tips you can incorporate into your everyday life to become more flexible and adaptable. Change the way you conceive new things. Next time you are faced with a situation that presents relevant changes to the way you do things, take it as an opportunity to learn something new. Explore the situation. Adapt to different roles, responsibilities, and contexts. Deal with changing priorities. Priorities change in everyday life for several reasons. The deadline for a presentation or paper may have changed. A new task in your job that is challenging. Something to be fixed at home, etc. Being able to effectively deal with these changes is important. Try to focus your attention on the new priority and don't let yourself get affected by these changes. Take feedback effectively. Negative feedback can be difficult to take sometimes. It is a lot easier to receive compliments than criticisms. However, receiving negative feedback is part of everyday life. The solution isn't to avoid negative feedback, but to learn to deal with it and learn from it. When you handle negative feedback efficiently, you acquire a skill that is really important in life. Next time you get negative feedback, learn to pause before you react. Don't take feedback personally. Rather, learn from your mistakes and try to avoid repeating the same ones. See negative feedback as an opportunity to grow and improve rather than as mere criticism. Be open to different points of view. In today's world, it is a lot easier to find people from other cultures in different contexts. Sometimes they can have diverse views of the world and the way they interact with it may differ from yours. Being able to understand their beliefs about the world and appreciating diversity is an ability that is worth developing. 3. Vocabulary about flexibility and adaptability. Meet professional Paralympic basketball player Steve Baker. Steve is a 28-year-old man from Canada. He lives in Toronto with his family. He is a professional basketball player, but he is exceptional in one respect. He only has one leg. Believe it or not, this amazing man plays basketball with one leg. Basketball is quite a challenging sport for a lot of people. It is hard to run up and down across the court and try to score. Now imagine doing the same task with just one leg. Sounds impossible, yet Steve does it like a pro. Steve has always been a basketball player. He started competing professionally at the age of 8. He has participated in many competitions despite the lack of his left leg. He is one of the members of the Canadian Paralympic basketball team. Steve is open-minded. He does not think his skills are affected by his condition. How did he lose his leg? He suffered a car accident when he was 13. However, he survived, even after losing 55% of his blood during the accident. After the accident, everybody thought he was not going to play basketball anymore. However, he was determined to return to the court. After a few weeks, he came back to the court to practice with the ball in his wheelchair. Even though he had to deal with many obstacles, he never gave up until he achieved his goals. Steve is flexible. He can take on different roles in his life. He has appeared on television several times. He even wrote a book called Playing the Hard Way, where he tells his story. This amazing man is quite an example of courage and determination. Match the words, phrases, in bold from the reading to these definitions by writing the correct word in front of each definition. Use a dictionary if necessary. Having a strong feeling and conviction to do something. Mental or moral strength to face challenging situations. To take action to do something, to solve a problem. Difficult, hard, yet interesting. Ability or capacity to do something. An objective, something you're trying to do or achieve. A function or position. Something that prevents action or slow progress, an obstruction. A piece of work or responsibility assigned to somebody. Having a receptive attitude towards new ideas. To be able to take different roles in life. Four, idioms to talk about flexibility and adaptability. An idiom is a common expression that is not taken literally. It means that there is a different meaning in a situation or context. For example, the expression piece of cake means that something is easy to do. When we use this phrase in an idiomatic way, it does not mean part of a dessert. Look at the example. Idioms are very common in spoken English as they are informal. Idioms can be used in any context. Here are some idioms that can be used to talk about flexibility and adaptability. They can describe a person, object, or a situation. Here are other common idioms when talking about flexibility and adaptability. Go with the flow. This idiom means to accept things as they happen, to be relaxed and accept a situation instead of trying to fight or control it. My doctor says I have high blood pressure due to my stressful job. I need to go with the flow more, or else I could have a heart attack. To get cold feet. To get nervous and change your mind about doing something. She got cold feet about that new job. It seemed challenging, so she preferred to keep her old job. Go the extra mile. To make an extra effort to complete a task or achieve something. Although Juliet didn't have time, she finished the presentation and sent it to us. She is always ready to go the extra mile. To cost an arm and a leg describes the cost of something that is very expensive. Learning English is costing me an arm and a leg. I have to pay half of my salary every month for the classes. To cross that bridge when you come to it. Not to worry about a situation or problem in the future until it arrives. I heard the company will fire some people next year. Relax. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. High and dry. To leave someone in a difficult situation without any help. Alice abandoned Mark. She left him high and dry. Contextualization. Capsule hotels is a relatively new concept being implemented in Japan and China. To stay there, you need to be flexible and adapt to their conditions. Read about capsule hotels and find out about their characteristics. Look for examples of mixed conditionals. Have you ever thought about traveling to Japan? Well, if one day you have the chance to, you might want to stay in a capsule hotel. A capsule hotel is a concept developed in Japan. It aims to provide cheap accommodation to people who don't have the means to stay in a fancy hotel. Many students, workers, or businessmen who cannot afford a better place use capsule hotels. Each guest is provided with a small sleeping capsule, provided with a TV, an alarm clock, a light, a small table, and a blanket. The door is made of transparent plastic material, and there is also a small curtain to be used when you want to get some privacy. As the walls are very thin, you're requested to be quiet and courteous with your neighbours. There is also a shared bathroom and shared showers. In order to keep your belongings, you can rent a small locker where you can put your clothes and belongings. Shoes are not allowed inside the capsule, by the way. You need to take them off and wear slippers. Sadly, most capsule hotels are for men only. Although a few of them offer floors for women, few women use this kind of service. Takumi, a young businessman, is a frequent visitor of capsule hotels. He says,
I stay here because it is cheap. Staying in a capsule hotel may sound challenging for a lot of people who are used to conventional hotels. If I had money, I wouldn't have started using these hotels. It can be uncomfortable and very limiting. However, they are also clean and very safe. The staff is usually nice. If they hadn't invented these hotels, many people wouldn't have a convenient option to stay and would instead sleep in the streets or in a park. If you wanted to succeed in this world, you have to be open-minded and adapt yourself to different situations.
how about you, dear reader? Would you consider staying in one of these hotels if you were short of money?